And welcome to Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. I'm John. John, along with me as always is Sean. Sean, welcome to Week 4. How are your Vikings looking? How are your fantasy teams looking? And what are you looking for in tonight's matchup between the Dolphins and the Bengals?
The Vikings, they're Minnesota for me. At this point in time, I can't get anything excited. They can only annoy me. It can only get worse from here. So, uh, fantasy teams, 3-0 in our league, and 1-2 in my other two leagues. So it's either I'm really good or I'm really bad. So there's that. And then for tonight's game, I'm just trying to enjoy a good Thursday night football game. So far since opening night, they've been boring games. So I just want to see back and forth good offenses. I'm tired of seeing these snooze fest games. I don't want to be watching a game and by halftime I'm ready to turn it off and go to bed.
Agreed. Yeah. My Jets, 1 week we get the lucky win against Cleveland, getting the onside kick in the last two touchdowns there in a minute 55. But then back to our normal self against Cincinnati. And then we got Pittsburgh this week. Now, Pittsburgh is all banged up, but we're getting Zach Wilson back as well. So be interesting to see how the Jets offense does with Wilson because after the first three games, Flacco is, I believe, number 2 in completions and number 1 in passing attempts. So it'll be interesting to see if the Jets keep that pace up with Wilson coming back. So, but yeah, we're here to talk about tonight's matchup between the Dolphins and Bengals. Dolphins with a big win over the Bills last week. Some questionable things going on in that game with the refs there at the end. They got to do something with the clock there at the end. If a ref screws up like he did, he not fumbled, but he bobbled the ball and didn't get it placed in time, which would have given Buffalo a chance to spike it and kick the game-winning field goal. Any thoughts on that last play there?
You even said it earlier in Sunday afternoon at the Minnesota game before halftime. The refs ran off 5 seconds before they even put the ball down and couldn't even get a field goal attempt off. Was it the deciding factor in the game? It could have been. It could have changed the outcome of the game a lot. It could have changed how the Lions played the second half. It could have changed how the Vikings played the second half. If the refs are sitting here fumbling the ball like they have been, it's more than one time now. It's on multiple occasions. If they keep messing up like that, sooner or later, you gotta either stop the clock and then say, all right, this is how much time's left. The clock's gonna be running. Get ready. Or it's got to kind of go like the college rules. If you get a first down, it stops the clock. If not, the clock keeps running regardless. Right. It's just you can't be sitting here ruining games and ruining these teams' chances to win the game or even tie the game by the ref being the one deciding the game. It's multiple times now, multiple occasions each week.
Harold with a couple comments here. First off, Harold, thank you for being here. Our resident Detroit Lions fan. He says, golf evening. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, it was a good day. It was a busy day at work. Ready for some football. We got tonight's game, but then Sunday we got the first London game, I believe, with your Vikings there, Sean. So it's literally Sunday is a full day of football.
Yep, I get to ruin my day from start to end.
Now, Red Zone doesn't cover that games just because it's one game, right?
Yeah, correct.
I don't think they're allowed to show just one game.
Yeah, I believe it's on Fox.
Harold's also saying the Lions gave that game away, stupid asses. So I did not watch much of that game. That was going on the same time my Jets were playing. So yeah, what happened there? I believe the Lions had a lead. You weren't sounding too happy in our text messages back and forth. But what happened for the Vikings to come back?
The Lions just kept going for it on fourth down.
Got it.
At some point in time, you just got to punt the ball. They left 3 points on the board multiple times. They could have done, and I don't think they punted the ball all game. They won 4 on every fourth down, I believe. So, I don't know. It just you want to sit there as a coach and you want to sit here and say, all right, well, we're going to go out and be winners and all that. But when you do stupid decisions like that and you ruin your team's chance, it's it's dumb and it's not good for the team because team morale is going to fall down when you're sitting here and you're leading the game in the fourth quarter late, and then all of a sudden we're losing because we keep going for it.
So Harold says, I'm ready for the Lions to drop down to high school football. Yeah, could you imagine? I know over in Europe and England and stuff in their football, what we call soccer here, in their football leagues, they get demoted down to the less. I know we don't have enough leagues here to necessarily do that with football. But could you imagine if that's what happened here? If teams got demoted like that?
I mean, if we're demoting anybody first, I think we got to go with Houston.
The Jets.
I mean,
the Jets would be down there.
Houston's down there. I mean, there's plenty of other teams. I think the Raiders probably are down there first. I mean, the Raiders.
Josh McDaniel. He's not lasting the season.
The Raiders are in that cycle where they had a good season, then they get a good free agency, then they start off horrible, and then it's like next someone's going to get arrested because that's bound to happen, and then they have a comeback season, and then they draft someone really good, and then we have a good season, and it's back that we suck again. So, I mean, they're in that cycle where they're right before someone gets arrested and they suck. So if you're a Raiders fan, look out. Something bound to happen there. It's a Las Vegas thing. I mean, I just think that when you live in Las Vegas, I guess you do stupid things.
Yeah. So before we start looking at tonight's game, let's take a look at the league leaders in some of these stats here. Here, passing leaders, like I said, Flacco number 2 in completions, Allen number 1. That's not surprising to me. Allen should be an MVP candidate. But Wentz is up there. Geno Smith is up there. Trevor Lawrence having a good season. And rounding out the top 10 is Kirk Cousins. So, honestly, the biggest name that surprises me is Flacco being number 2. Now, I could see if he was a little bit down there by like Matt Ryan or something like that, but being number 2 after 3 weeks.
Yeah, but you also got to look at it as Carson Wentz has trailed most of the games.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert's been injured for 2 of the games. Kyler Murray's been trailing, I think, all but like 2 quarters of his games. And for the Jets, they've been trailing pretty much most of their games as well. So you got to throw a lot. Where the teams towards the bottom, Trevor Lawrence, they've kind of been winning majority of their games. Kirk Cousins, they led the whole game for week 1, and they were in contention week 3, so they didn't really have to throw too often. But then you got Josh Allen. They just throw the ball in general. I mean, it's 4th down and 1, and they're throwing the football. It's 1st and 30, and they're throwing the football. It don't matter. It could be 4th down and 30. They're going to still throw the football, even if they're at their own 10. It's bound to happen. So I think that is a big key in who is going to be a top player each week in and out. I think that's where you see the teams that are always on a winning record are always going to have the most completions, most passes, yards, touchdowns. But it also could come in a downfall. If you're throwing that much, you could have a lot of turnovers. So in that way.
Yeah, so let's look. I mean, the completion percentage, we got Geno Smith up there. This surprises me. I know we're 3 weeks in, so these numbers are going to change, but right now we still got 5 guys completing over 70% of their passes, and Trevor Lawrence right there at 69%. So that's a great completion percentage. You want your quarterback above that 65%, and right now the top 10 are all above that mark.
Yeah, to me, I mean, Geno Smith at 77%. The only reason why he's not throwing many pass attempts each game. To me, if you're not passing the ball very much throughout the game, there's no reason why you should have a lot of incompletions. I mean, then when you look at it, Stafford, Rodgers, Tua, and Allen in X4, they're throwing the ball 30 times a game, 35, 40. I mean, how many games this year has Josh Allen thrown for 40 pass attempts? I think almost every single week.
Yeah, he's got 132
So
on the year. So
yeah, so he's throwing the ball a lot. I mean, at 132 pass attempts, divide that by 3, that's what, 40 something, 45, 44.
Yep.
So that's where I look at it as that's where the completion percentage is changing a lot. And then you also look at it the passing yards. I mean, Geno Smith is completing 77%. He's not even inside the top 10.
Right.
I mean, and then you look over at passing touchdowns again. You're not inside the top 10. So when you look at that kind of stats for completions, yeah, you might be completing the ball a lot. You're not helping your team win. You're still losing.
Mm-hmm. So we got 3 guys so far in the year: Winston, Mac Jones, and Stafford, with 5 interceptions each. But then Carr, Burrow, Fields, and Ryan all with 4. So a lot of interceptions being thrown there. Any concern with
Yeah, and
Lamar Jackson leading in rushing yards already?
yeah, him and Jalen Hurts. Someone's gonna just go out there and they're just gonna destined to hurt you. You're gonna play against that one team that's just gonna go out there and they're not gonna care about late hits. Trail in a football game and you're running the ball. Like say a team down like 20 points or something, like 2 weeks ago with Miami, they could have just went out there and just headhunted Lamar. That's where it concerns for me. But for the interceptions, it's the top 3 there. Winston and Jones, they're both banged up and injured, so that could see Matt Stafford just run away with it, or could Derek Carr could honestly just take over even Justin Fields, because Justin Fields has been very inconsistent with throwing the football.
Yeah. Rushing touchdowns, Hurts with 3, then a bunch of guys with 1, and fumbles lost. That's a lot. Flacco and Mariota leading with 3 there. Never want to turn the ball over, but we got Rye Cannon giving us some hype in the chat. Rye Cannon, thank you for being here. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. I'm a member of his Discord as well, and I follow him on Twitter. And I believe he went to the AEW wrestling event last night. So I think that would have been pretty cool to see. I don't follow it too much. I just stick to WWE. But Rye Cannon, thank you for being here. Sean, anything else on the quarterbacks before we take a look at running backs?
No, I say let's jump over to running backs.
Rye Cannon also says not much, just got off work, and AEW was awesome. So yeah, looked like you were having a good time. Good time there. Running backs. Pierce leads with attempts. Sanders is second, only 1 behind. So who else? Well, Wilson getting the carries because of injuries. But anybody jumping out to you here that you didn't think would be here?
Yeah, towards the bottom there, Melvin Gordon, only 34 attempts. That's shocking to me because he's a backup. I mean, Jamal Williams should be getting the ball or a lot more. And the next one that's really shocking and surprising to me is Austin Eckler. Only 32 pass attempts on the year, or rush attempts, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They're what, 1 and 2 on the season.
Yep.
They've gotten blown out against the Jaguars. Didn't play good at all. And you're losing these games. Your quarterback's banged up. Why isn't your running back stepping up? So that's kind of a concern for me is what's going on with Austin Eckler that we don't know about. Because if he's not playing to 100% or something, or why isn't he getting the ball more often? Last year at this time, he probably has 40, 50 rush attempts, maybe even more. This time this year, he's at 32, and they're not really a winning team.
Yeah. But then look at rushing yards. Henry and Jacobs right now lead at 192. Well, they lead for running backs. They do not lead the league because Jackson's got 243. So he would be leading the league in rushing.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to rushing yards, Actually,
And Harold said Eckler is killing his team, and Allen's still out. Yeah, that hurt.
uh,
That hurts.
for
Yeah,
rushing yards, where's Saquon Barkley?
Oh, I don't know. Let me
I'm
go
pretty sure
look.
he's. I'm
Actually,
pretty
let
sure
me go look.
I'm pretty sure he's leading the league.
Let me look. Why is that not showing up here?
It doesn't seem right at all. It doesn't seem right at all because it goes from 176 and it drops down to 116.
So something's not right here. Let me see if I can fix this here. Okay, select all. Okay. Select all. Okay. Select all. All right, let me update this to see if that fixed it. Let's get rid of this. Hide, and let's reload this and see if it updated. Went back to quarterbacks. Let's look at running backs. Good call, Sean. Yep.
There we go.
I don't know why it didn't update it. So it's updated now. So, oh man, so that threw everything off over here in the first column. So, yeah. So actually, not surprised by any of these guys over here in the first column. But then, yeah, Chubb and Barkley and Patterson actually over 300, averaging over 100 yards a game. So,
Yeah, and they're using Patterson more as a running back this year over a receiver too,
yeah,
which is good for him because he's focused more on the running game, and it's helped him out a lot. And then when you look over at the rushing touchdowns, what shocks me is you got Jamal Williams with 4, and DeAndre Swift isn't getting more touches inside the red zone. So that shocks me a lot, because why isn't the top running back in Detroit getting the ball inside the 5 when it matters? And then when you look down there at the receiving targets, the top 2 are kind of known for their targets on their team, Singletary and Carter, and then McCaffrey obviously as well. But to me, Devin Singletary has gone away from being a running quarterback, and he's more of the slant slot guy, comes out of the backfield, and he gets a lot of receptions out of the backfield, which helps him a lot. Obviously, targeted 16 times, he's gotten 13 receptions.
right.
Same with Michael Carter. I mean,
I'm gonna actually update. That's not upgrading. That's not updating either. So,
no.
so I don't know why the running backs didn't update. That's weird. Select all. Okay, let's save this. Hide that, and it'll go back to quarterbacks here when I refresh it. But all right, let's go back over to running backs and see what it did here.
Yeah, Harold says the Lions got to keep Swift healthy.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be out this week anyways too because he's banged up already. So, and then Rycan says that the Seahawks defense got eaten up by Patterson. It's not just the Seahawks defense. Every defense is getting eaten up by Patterson. The guy's averaging 110 yards a game right now. I think, if not more.
Yeah. So I don't know why the receiving information is not updating, but we'll take care of that after the stream. Yeah. But yeah, so that's at least through 2 weeks with the receiving numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, and I mean,
go ahead.
At the end of the day, you always want to have a quarterback or a running back that can get receptions too for PPR and fantasy purposes. So it shows right there that if you're getting those targets, those might be players to want to pick up if you need for maybe a bye week, injury week maybe. So it would be something to keep an eye on, especially with Burkhead and Carter. Both are backups. So both of them could be key players to have if something were to happen with Breece Hall or Dameon Pierce.
Let me just check before we put them on the screen. Let me just check. Wide receivers should all be updated. It looks like they are. That's weird that running backs had the issue, but nobody else did.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, so let's take a look here. So far through 3 games, targets. No, see that can't. Does Cup? Oh yeah, I guess Cup could only have 35 targets, but he's got 28 receptions through 3 games. So leading in both of those. Diggs leading in yards with Waddle only a couple behind him there. Man, Waddle and Hill 2 and 3 in the league.
Yeah, but then when you look at the rest of the Dolphins team, the next closest has 50 yards.
Gotcha.
The Waddle and Hill have 680 of the yards or 670, and they only have 930 yards on the season. So the rest of the team combined equals what they have on their own. So you shut down Waddle, you shut down Hill, the Dolphins will suck, and it's going to happen.
Rye Cannon says whoever has Jay Williams for the Lions, they start. Advise they start him. Yeah, I mean, got to keep an eye on the injury. You know, always got to keep an eye on the injury news. But yeah, and looking like a viable option too, not just you know. So if Swift does miss some time, I don't think that offense is going to lose. They'll lose a little bit, but it won't be that big of a drop off.
No. And then when you look over at the receiving touchdowns, Stephon Diggs and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, are obviously key players. You're starting every week. But a guy that kind of came up and I didn't expect to was Christian Kirk. I mean, the guy is the clear number 1 target in Jacksonville. I expected that going into the season when he got that big contract. But when he got that contract in the offseason, we made fun of him. We're like, Jacksonville's stupid.
Yep.
Looking at his production so far in 3 games, Jacksonville might be smart because they might have found a sleeping guy that no one else expected to go off like they has. I mean,
and if anybody drafted Duvernay from Baltimore, he's got 3 on the year already.
And Alan Lazard.
Thomason is back. Lazard missed the first week, but he's got 2.
Yep. Yeah, but Lazard has 2 touchdowns and only like 50 yards. So
no, it's higher than that. Come on, bud.
It's not that high.
Let's look at longest reception so far this year. Bateman and Anderson both with 75-yarders. Some rushing attempts. Debo made the big stink in the offseason where he didn't want to be a running back, but yet he's leading the wide receiver group in rush attempts.
I see my top 5 wide receiver though right there. Chase Claypool. He's got 7 rush attempts and he's got 47 yards on the season. That might be more. He might have more rushing yards than he has receiving yards for the Steelers.
Top 5. Look, he is a top 5. He is a top 5.
He is a top 5. That's about the only thing he's top 5 at.
Only a couple rushing touchdowns on the year from receivers. Cup surprises me. Debo doesn't. But yeah, some fumbles. Phillips. I know Phillips is a special teamer there with Tennessee, so those might be on special teams. Aguilar up in New England with 2. Surprised he's still on the team. Rye Cannon says, you got it. Debo had half those yards on 1 run versus Seattle. Yeah, I don't know. Let's finish these up, Sean, and then we'll start talking. We'll get into tonight's game before it kicks off. You and I, our predictions, are both 3-0 on Thursday night, and in our Sunday predictions, we both stink.
Hey, I went 1-1 on Sundays this week. Okay. I'm pretty impressed.
Okay, good. Well,
I'm pretty sure I predicted the upset, so that's all that matters.
Okay. Tight ends. All the big names. Conklin, a little surprising here to me. Everett, surprising. Waller so far down. That's surprising.
Yeah, Waller. I mean, the Raiders' offense sucks. The Raiders' offense is horrible. I mean, Davante Adams went there and it got worse.
Yep.
Either something's going on or the play calling is horrible, but they're just horrible. There was multiple times on Sunday that inside the 5-yard line, you're rolling out to throw the football and there's 2 wide receivers standing on top of each other in a corner. You can't have that. Why is Davante Adams and Darren Waller in the same corner? you should be doing that. But Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce are clear 1-2 favorites. Everyone's going to have their favorite on who's the number one, who's the number two. They're always going to change it. But for me, the guy that's clear and shocking is that's coming up the ranks, I think, is Tyler Conklin in the Jets. I think obviously they got someone that they found, and I think he's going to be a good fit there. I mean, 18 receptions this year on 24 targets. He's top 10 in yards at 140. So he's really, really doing good down there up there for the Jets.
Yeah, let me update these stats as well. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Hill, I don't know. I mean, Hill automatically comes up on all the things because I guess he plays every position.
He's going to be the starting quarterback this week yet.
Yeah, so we'll see. Your favorite position?
Nope, I don't even want to talk about it.
Field goals.
Ryan Cannon says that McDaniels is horrible and that Devontae was cooking corners, but at the end of the time, it don't matter if they have no time to throw the football.
Right.
If Derek Carr has zero time to throw the football, it ain't gonna matter. You could have a guy 50 yards down the field. That showed in the Super Bowl. Jamar Chase burned his guy late there in that fourth quarter when they could have won the game. And Joe Burrow had no time to throw it because Aaron Donald was standing there, and look who won. The Rams won that game.
So let's look at defenses here. No surprise, we knew Tampa Bay was going to be good defense. Buffalo as well. Jacksonville up there. I didn't think I know we're only 3 weeks in, but I didn't think the Eagles defense would be this good on the year.
You also got to count the Eagles defense. They played the Lions week 1, which was turnovers and a lot of sacks, and as well as Minnesota week 2. I mean, Minnesota was their only real threat so far this year that they had of a good team. And in week 3, they played the Washington Commanders with the worst offensive line. They sacked Carson Wentz 9 times. I mean, that's 9 points. They got a safety, and they also got 2 interceptions, I think, in that game, and I think a fumble. So you think about it, right there's almost half their points in one game. So I think that's where that helps them a lot.
Yeah, so let's look. Anything else to stick out to you? Sacks, Dallas leads, interceptions. Jaguars are tied with the lead there.
I think the Jaguars.
Go ahead.
I think this year the Jaguars are a better team than we all thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. If the Jaguars come out and win Sunday night or win Sunday afternoon against the Eagles in Philly, just mark it down. The Jaguars win the division. It's over.
Yep.
If
That's a bad division.
If the Jaguars can go and start the season 3-1 and beat the Eagles and beat the Chargers to start the season, there's no reason why they can't win that division when that division is the most lopsided division in football.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the easiest division to win. I mean, that division right now is on pace to probably have a team win the division with 8 games as a win, maybe 7.
Yep. Some special teams touchdowns, only 3 on the year so far. But fewest fantasy points by defenses so far. The Raiders only have 6 fantasy points on the season. My Jets aren't much better. They're the 4th lowest at 10.
What's shocking to me is you got 2 teams, 2 of the bottom 3 there are teams that spent the most money in the offseason on defense.
Yeah, the Raiders and Chargers.
Yeah.
And, man, the Chargers are banged up, man.
Oh, they just lost Bosa for 4 weeks. They're losing people left and right.
Yep. So let me put this up on the screen. I forgot to do that before. Let's talk about tonight's matchup. Before we make our predictions, Sean, what do you think? Burrow and Tagovailoa here. Burrow, we have ranked 6th this week. Tua at 12. Both must starts if you have them.
Yeah. It depends what other quarterback you have. I mean, for me, now I have Tua and I have Justin Herbert in one league. I can't go against starting Justin Herbert.
Right.
If he's healthy.
So I would say if you have someone else you could start, maybe depending on who you have. But for me, you got to start both Tua and Burrow just because this game here, I expect to probably be high scoring. I do expect it high scoring.
Mhm.
I'll tell everyone, obviously, my prediction when I give my winner and the score there. I almost had, what was it, last week's prediction almost on point up until the fumble 6 there at the end. So I would say Joe Burrow and Tua are definitely a must start. I expect them to exceed over the 20-point threshold that they're projected.
Oh, oh yeah, yep. I 22 and 20. Yeah, I agree. I think they'll both go over that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look here. Running backs right now. Mixon, we have ranked 6th in the running backs this week, and then the next best one is Chase Edmonds at 38. So probably Mixon out of the running back group tonight.
Yeah,
Only one worth starting.
Yeah, I wouldn't start Chase Edmonds just for a simple fact. You don't really know what he's going to get. And Miami is not really, like I said, they're not really throwing the ball much to running backs. So I think Chase Edmonds is second or third on the team leader with receiving yards on the season. And like I said, I think he's only at like 52 yards.
Yeah. So we'll keep going here. We're almost to the top of the hour. So I know the game kicks off at like 8:15, but here at the wide receiver position, we got Chase at 5, Hill at 6, Waddle at 8, Higgins at 23, but then a big drop off after that. And Higgins at 23. What do you think? Definitely start the other 3 guys if you got them, but Higgins is definitely either a wide receiver 2 or a flex spot.
Yeah, honestly, to me, Tyler Boyd gets slept on a lot. I wouldn't expect him to have only 8 points tonight. I expect him to actually have more than T. Higgins, in my opinion. I do think that Tyler Boyd is a better receiver than Higgins, depending on the game, obviously. But Jamar Chase is going to have Xavier Howard guarding him. So I expect Higgins and Boyd to get a lot more targets and a lot more yardage tonight. And then over on the Dolphins side, you only can start 2 guys on the team, and you might as well start Hill and Waddle both.
Yep.
For me, I have Tua and Waddle in 2 of my leagues, and I'm starting both of them. And then the other league I don't have – I have Tua not starting is the one I have Herbert. So, obviously, I expect Waddle and Tua to have 3 touchdowns tonight, 300 yards, incredible numbers, 15 receptions, record-breaking night.
So I don't want to hear about record breaking. We put up a video on our other platforms where you said the Dolphins Bills game was going to be close to 100 points, if not going over. We didn't get halfway there, bud.
What I meant by 100, I meant the temperature was going to be 100. Oh, you just misheard me there.
No,
that game there was. It started off good, and I don't know if it was the heat or what, but it just turned into one of those games where. I mean, the Bills still had almost 500 yards of offense, and they just couldn't score. I don't know what it was. They just kept falling apart when it came down to it.
Looking at tight ends here, if you're starting Hurst or Gesicki, you're probably hurting at the tight end position.
Yeah, if you're starting any of them, just probably give up, retire. If you spent any money, ask for it back. Now that I said that, they're both going to score a touchdown tonight, 15 points minimum. They're having a 100-yard game. Like, it's going to be record-breaking night for tight ends. Like, Travis Kelce numbers right there out of those 2.
Yeah. Kickers, stay away from kickers tonight.
For me, I stay away from Jason Sanders, obviously. Mm-hmm. But Evan McPherson, you start him every week. The guy has a leg. One of the best kickers in the league. And then for me, down in the defenses, I wouldn't start the Bengals defense just because the Bengals defense have given up points. They've given up yards. To me, starting a Dolphins defense would be more key because the Bengals offensive line and the Dolphins defense has been eating up offensive lines and getting at the quarterback all season long. I think they could probably get after the Bengals. I expect them to have 5 sacks tonight.
Wow.
turnover or two. Wouldn't be shocked even if a defensive touchdown, maybe.
That's surprising me. The Bengals. Now we'll see how what the game plan is tonight. People were talking the same thing. You know, the Jets defensive line was going to finally eat last week, and they didn't show up. So I don't know if the Bengals got something fixed in that play calling. So it'll be interesting to see. But Burrow was getting that ball out. So what do you think? I don't know enough about the Dolphins. I don't watch a lot of their games on defense. Do they like to play press coverage, or do they usually play off? Because the Jets played off, and the receivers were open all day.
I mean, the Bills. Wow. But the Bills receivers, the Dolphins couldn't stay with Stephon Diggs. I mean, Stephon Diggs is always open. I think that's pretty much his slogan. I'm always open. But everyone else was on lockdown. I mean, no one else really had a big game. So it's hard to say. I mean, the Dolphins are going to go after one player, obviously, and they're going to target one player to target. And I think that's going to be Jamar Chase. So that's why I said with Higgins and Boyd, I wouldn't be shocked if they have a bigger game than Jamar Chase. Don't go quoting me betting on the game saying these two are going to out-yard them, because if you do that and you lose money, don't come after me and don't knock on my door. If you knock on my door, I can't be held responsible for what happens to you. Especially you. If you come knocking on my door, it's going to get open.
Harold said Diggs is open more than 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven and Dunkin' at the same time. Maybe even the Waffle House.
Well, Dunkin', I don't know about down by you, but Dunkin' here closes at like 8:00 at night now. So
yeah, it's crazy. I go to get something at nighttime, like.
Yep.
But I was actually watching TV and I was listening to what they said, and they were talking to people out of Florida, and they said they weren't evacuating until the local Waffle House closed. The Waffle House stayed open in the middle of a goddamn hurricane. What the hell? I need you on your shift. We need waffles.
I need you on your shift.
You're here 8 to 5. I don't care if it's a tsunami outside or not. You're here. We need waffles and bacon meat.
Oh. But man,
I always go to a Waffle House, and first thing I ask for is, you guys have pancakes? And I always get the most disgusted look, and I'm afraid that they usually spit on my food.
I would spit on your food just because it's you.
I mean, if they spit on it and it has extra flavor, it's less syrup I have to use anyways.
Oh man, let's look over at Twitter to see if there's any late news before we go with the game here. I'm gonna have to put it on. I still got the news on. Still talking about the hurricane down in Miami, or down in Florida, I should say. It's making its way up to the Carolinas now. So, I have to keep an eye on my family down there. What?
You got to check your phone. I sent you a text message. I think you'll get a good laugh out of it.
Oh, did he texted you that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So let's talk. So far in our predictions this year, on Thursday night, we are both 3-0. So what are you thinking tonight?
For me, the Miami Dolphins finally lose. They're going to lose finally. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to win at home. And the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win at home with a score of 38-32. It's going to be a weird scoring game, I think, just because of field goals on Miami's side. But I expect Cincinnati to score often, a lot, and it's going to go out into a shootout, I think. Why do I think it's a shootout? Well, obviously you have Xavier Howard's going to be on Jamar Chase. Those two, Xavier Howard is a very big player on pass interferences. So I think he's going to ride dirty tonight, give up a lot of PIs, maybe holding penalties even. And Eli Apple and Tyreek Hill have had beef. Mm-hmm. They've had beef since Sunday after the game ended, and it's been only going all week. Those two are probably going to have at least 2 penalties called on each other. Probably may even have a fist fight. It's possible. You might see a spear on the field even. by Tyreek Hill, Spear, and Eli Apple. But I think at the end of the night, Eli Apple is going to look like the Super Bowl. You might as well just get him a toaster because he's going to get burned.
So for the first time this year, we are going different. I am picking the Dolphins to win this game. Almost the same exact score, but I have the Dolphins winning 38-31.
So you got to stop reading my mind because this stuff's starting to get out of hand. You did it to me last week, 1 point difference. You're doing it to me this week. And for everyone to hear this on live stream, we don't talk about our predictions until we say them.
Correct.
I don't share anything. The only thing we share is our Sunday predictions, and that's literally 10 minutes before I send it over with what mine are.
Yep.
So yeah, we don't talk about it.
So I got the Dolphins winning. But I'm having a bad day anyway, or a bad year anyway with my predictions, except for Thursday night. My Sunday games, whatever I say on Sunday, bet the opposite, and you'll win.
Pretty much.
Harold says his hot take for the Lions beat Seattle. Are they playing each other this week? I haven't even looked at this week's schedule.
I haven't even looked at this week's schedule. I don't even have an idea.
So let's go over and look. Minnesota. Ooh, man. Oh, that's the 9:30 game. Man, all day football, bud. Oh yeah, Seattle and Detroit at 1 on Fox. Both teams are 1-2.
I'm putting Detroit down. They're winning by at least 2 scores.
I don't know, man.
Nah, I don't think they win by 2 scores. I think Detroit does win the game. I just think Detroit's a better team. I mean, Detroit's averaging, 30 points a game right now almost?
Yeah. Yeah, even though they're 1-2, right.
Detroit's a 4-point favorite right now.
Wow. What's it? Oh, well, last week, 2 weeks ago at home, it ended up even, right?
Yeah.
So technically, this will be the first.
And the Commanders and Cowboys, the Cowboys are a 3-point favorite at home against the Commanders.
That's it?
That's it.
Dallas is home?
Dallas is home. Micah Parsons is going to have 3 sacks for that 3-point difference.
How is it only a 3? Well, because Cooper Rush is playing. That's why.
The Eagles are 6.5 over the Jags. The Chargers are a 5-point favorite over the Texans.
That's it? Oh, it's on the road.
The Steelers are 3.5 over the Jets.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's in. What about
the Giants?
Oh, Giants. I was just going to look up the Giants Bears.
The Giants is a 3-point favorite over the Bears. Now, I am a betting man. The Giants should definitely win by over 3 points over the Bears. I don't think the Bears are going to contend with the Giants. The Giants could have won on Monday Night Football. It just came down to crucial game calling. They didn't call the timeouts before half. I don't know what coaches are thinking. You have timeouts, use them before the half. They decided to run the last minute and a half out without using a single timeout and didn't even attempt a field goal.
Yeah. Harold says, as long as they don't go for it on 4th down. Yeah, that seems to be a problem with the Lions this year. And he says he'll be right back. Yeah, thank you for being here.
The Packers are 9.5-point favorites over the Patriots.
Well, and that line's like that because we don't know what's the deal with Mac Jones. I believe he did return to practice today. So
now you ready for these two? I'll give you the Sunday night and Monday night. Who's the Sunday night? The Chiefs and Bucks. Who's the favorite?
I'm going to say Tampa Bay's the favorite by 2.5.
They're even.
Oh, wow.
Now, for Monday Night Football, Rams 49ers. Who do you got favorite there?
Rams are favored by 8.
The Niners are favored by 1.5.
No, give me the Rams. Give me the Rams plus the points.
All day. The points, I wonder what the points is for Sunday night. It's got to be like 52.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'd stay away from that.
Points in that game is 46.
I'd still stay away from that. Don't know what kind. Now I know I know that game is being played in Tampa Bay, but who knows what kind of condition that field is in.
I know Evans is back. Godwin should be back. I don't know. I think 46 is a little low. Now, in the Bills-Ravens game, the Bills are obviously a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
The over-under in that game is only 51.
Wow, that's it?
That's it. And the Bills are only a 3-point favorite.
No, I shouldn't say that because we thought the Bills-Dolphins game was going to be a lot, and it didn't get to 50. So
let's see what the Giants-Bears. The Giants-Bears over-under is 39.
Somebody just texted me.
39 points is the over-under. That's pretty bad. Tonight's over-under is, let's see. What's my phone? The over-under for tonight is 49 points. It's definitely going to go over that.
Yeah, definitely going to go over that. Yep.
And the Bengals are a 4-point favorite. So I think that's another key thing is having the home crowd. I think that's going to be the difference.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, could the Bengals? I don't know the Bengals' schedule. If they were to fall 1-3, are they in trouble?
Absolutely.
So
They fall to 1-3. If they fall to 1-3 and the Ravens were to win.
Ooh, man. They play Miami tonight, of course, then Baltimore, then New Orleans, Atlanta, who's looking good. Cleveland's good. Man.
But the Baltimore is Sunday Night Football.
So what's that mean?
That's a key game. You go back-to-back key games against key teams.
Oh. Well, no, wait a minute. What's going on here? Man, next Sunday is already October 9th.
But we're in October on Saturday.
I'm like, wait, do they have their bye already? Nope.
Like I told you earlier, just because you got donuts and beer this week at work doesn't mean you got to be drunk for stream.
No. The customer gave me money and told me to use it on beer. He did not give me beer.
I'm expecting you to go get beer.
These Bengals whiteout jerseys are sick. Man, I don't. You have to look at all the images they posted. You have to look because it looked like they posted it in black and white.
Yeah, you would think that it was black and white. I'm actually just pulling up the game. I'm so used to watching the game on TV, and I forgot it's on TV.
Yeah. Yep. Man,
it's so weird when you get to watch it on something other than.
It looks like the players are in black and white. So we'll put this up on the screen as well. Thank you everybody for being here. I know Rye Cannon's been hanging out in the chat. Harold's been here. If anybody else is here, let us know who your teams are.
Jeez.
What?
I literally log in at 8:15 and they're already on the field already, and they kickoff.
Yep, kickoff. Yep. Let's see here. Time sacked, 15 so far for Burrow, tied with Wentz for the most in the NFL.
I mean, Joe Burrow gets sacked more than I go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a donut. I mean, I'm there all the time.
All the time.
All the time, every morning almost. It's like clockwork. They probably know me by name.
Oh, here we go. Let's put that so we can see that on the screen.
Wow. Xavier Howard is not on Jamar Chase. That might be a mistake.
Well, do they play? They must play zone defense. They must not play man defense then. Because that means he's staying on his side of the field.
I'm trying to actually find him on the defense, watching it live.
Chase, I just got the Chase play. Looks like it should be a 3rd and 1 here.
Xavier Howard's on the side of the field where there's not even a wide receiver. He's guarding a tight end.
So I don't know. Maybe they're doing that and hoping to roll coverage. I don't know. So we got a 3rd and 1 here. Already a key play, first drive of the game.
Now, remember what I texted you the other day? I said, the Dolphins would be cool if they wore the
Orange,
all orange or all teal jerseys.
Yep.
They're wearing all teal jerseys.
Yep.
I love it.
Big play there for her.
What I tell you? Told you, don't start any tight ends. Don't bet money on it. Now, if someone comes knocking, it's over.
Well, relax. That's 19 yards. He might not get another catch.
That's 18 more than he usually gets. Oh my God. I can't believe it. That equals out what the Bengals season is. T. Higgins literally just fell down with the whole field open. Someone forgot to clip the blade of grass at the 40, and he tripped.
No, the defender tripped him.
I didn't see him trip him.
I just saw the play. The defender I think the defender hit his foot.
This is what's scary about the Bengals offense. They literally could throw anybody, anywhere, and do anything. And it could be like it's easy for them.
So marching right down the field here.
Now, if I told you to start Evan McPherson and you started them, they're in field goal range. It's over.
Oh, man. So, McDaniel, first year with the Dolphins, 3-0 so far. You think that might have hurt the Rams the first couple of weeks of the year?
I don't think so.
I think that first game again. Well, no, Buffalo's tough, but there's Hurst to get. Ooh, that should be a flag for a late hit. There it is.
Yeah. That right there is just a bonehead move.
Yep.
Bonehead move right there.
Guy's laying on the ground with
and
the
you dive on
defender
top
wrapped around his legs, and you dive on top of him.
If I'm the coach, you're sitting out the rest of the drive. Might even be the rest of the quarter. Like that was pure dumb. You go from having a 3rd and 1 to we're going to give them a free 15. That's a bonehead move right there.
Yep.
More laundry on the field.
Oh, I think he was offsides. Yep. Neutral zone infraction. Makes it 1st and 5 from the 9, so they can still get a first down without getting a touchdown here.
Yeah, because it's 1st and 5.
Uh, 50% so far on drives for the Bengals. 5 out of 10 drives have scored, resulted in a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. See, they targeted the guy I expected to target down here.
Yep.
With Tyler Boyd.
Yep. And he's drawing at the ref. Stop. There's not a flag on every play. Stop.
Yeah,
These receivers have to stop looking for flags after every play.
I think if you're begging for a flag, you should get called for a flag.
Agreed.
I think it should be like I'm not saying 15-yard penalty, but 5-yard.
And actually, I just saw the replay. He's got a gripe. He grabbed his shoulder pad, so.
Yeah, but still, players coming up. I mean, you're complaining after the littlest of touching anymore. And I mean, if you're going to keep complaining at this point, it's just got to be like a 5-yard penalty. And if you're going to keep doing it, then it's just going to keep growing. It's every play almost now. You see a player get up and they're just crying to a ref if they don't catch the football.
Yep. Looks like it'll be third and inches here down at the 5-yard line. They just got it. The marker's right inside the 5. So. I sent you a message in the private chat. Not sure if you saw that.
I did not.
Oh, what do we got here?
The ref giving him an earful. Now, I know we were talking about we were talking about it last week. You said about Twitch does show the Prime Video, the game.
Correct.
There's 94,000 viewers watching the game right now on Twitch.
So that could be what's hurting our numbers tonight. We have more than that. So actually, maybe Prime getting the game is hurting us instead. So, oh man, that's a touchdown. Mixon.
I'll take it. I needed it. I have him in a league that I'm 1-2 in, and it's struggling.
Yep. Let me switch over to week 4 here. Yep. Oh, I just looked at our league here for the channel. I'm playing Rye Cannon this week.
Oh, that's an easy dub for you.
And I have Joe Mixon. Well, he scored the most points last week, 226 points.
I scored the most points the week before, and it still don't matter. You still could barely win.
You've been in the top 3 all year long, yeah?
I mean, I've been undefeated all year long. Don't mean that. I mean, I don't sit here and I'm going to sit here and say that my team isn't the greatest. I mean, I still got people that don't show up every week. And as soon as I throw them on the benches, that's when they show up every week.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm off to a good start here tonight with that touchdown.
So am I. The Bengals are already up 7-0. We already got a touchdown on the board. 31 more points to go.
McPherson already with the extra point for you.
I told you that too. I'm starting to be a mind reader. I told you start him. It's worthy.
So is he worthy if he only kicks 4 extra points tonight?
He's kicking at least 5 extra points or 6.
Okay, so that's 5.
Hey,
where a guy who kicks 2 field goals will outscore him.
Hey, it could be something worthy. You never know. Don't question it.
Yeah. So, man. So we'll see how the Dolphins respond here.
And in my league that I have, that I'm 1-2, and I have Joe Mixon, the team I'm going up against has Kyler Murray, DeAndre Swift, and Josh Jacobs, Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle, Mark Andrews, Christian Kirk on the bench, Drake London on the bench, Melvin Gordon and Garrett Wilson, Damian Pierce and Stevenson on the Patriots. So it's like I literally need a perfect week to win a game against a guy that's 3-0, and that was an auto-drafted team.
Wow.
I swear, next year, any league I play, I'm just going to auto-draft because apparently they can read minds and they know what to predict.
Yep.
And in that league, that'll be the year I auto-draft and my team goes 1-10. And I'll never auto-draft again. I'll say that I never auto-draft again.
In the one league, I'm 2-1, but in the league here, I'm 1-2, and I'm thinking I should have just auto-draft. Overthink all this stuff getting so late in the draft.
Yeah, but you sit here and you auto-draft it, and you know what ends up happening? You'll end up drafting Kyle Pitts third overall.
Yeah, this is true. So while we wait for the game to come back, Sean and I live stream every Thursday. We do have another member of our team, Rye Cannon. He helps us out on Discord and some of the other social platforms a lot. But he was here in the chat before. I'm not sure if he's still here. But yeah, we live stream every Thursday at 7. Get you ready for the Thursday night games, Sundays at noon. Getting you caught up on any weather issues, any injury issues. Always answering your sit questions. We didn't keep track of how we did in week 1, Sean, but week 2 we did not do very good in our sit questions. But last week, out of the 6 questions we got, we were right on 4 of them. So
improvements. We're getting better.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, for all the people that are here, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that follow button. You'll get channel points for doing that. You could let us know with those channel points who your favorite team is. And like I said, thank you for being here. We're just getting started on the season. Mostert with a nice carry to start the drive. I'm actually surprised they ran the ball. Maybe that's why they did. Everybody expected him to run.
Yeah, but I also could see the fact that they probably figured start the game on an easy play.
Yeah.
Then go down the field.
Oh, big play to Hill.
The crazy part is Waddle was open right behind Hill. And
Yep.
Waddle might have scored a touchdown.
Yep. Just saw the replay. Waddle might have taken that. So good start for the Dolphins here.
Dolphins just moved right down. They just moved down the field like they're sitting still.
Yeah.
Guess that's what happens when you have a cheetah and a penguin. One runs fast and one waddles.
One waddles. There's Waddle. That's going to be about 20 yards down to the 21, 22-yard line. Man, nice response here by the Dolphins so far. I mean, never know what's going to happen to finish off the drive, but so it'll be interesting to see. Now, I know Miami was home against Buffalo and they beat them and to make them 3-0, but are they really that good? Oh, man. I don't know if that ball got tipped.
I don't know. Miami, I don't know. Miami, I think, is good, but I don't think they're greatness yet. You can't rely on 2 people because if you're sitting here relying on just 2 players, it's bound to hurt you in the long run.
Oh, I think that ball got tipped. Yep. Tua back to pass. Oh, fix the handoff. Pass. Number 14. Sherfield. Not sure who that is. Is he wide receiver 3?
I don't even know who the third wide receiver would be.
So that'll give the Dolphins 1st and 10 at the 11. So just like the Bengals can get a first down without scoring a touchdown here. Waddle on the sidelines. That's not – no, it doesn't look like he's injured, but you don't want that. You don't want that when you're down here in the red zone. Oh, little reverse, and they lose a yard.
I don't know. I'm never a fan of getting your receivers in as jet sweeps or reverses or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But that's because when the Jets do it, it's usually a loss anyway. So I'm like, what a wasted play. They never work. They never seem to work, and yet you do it, and you put the offense in a hole. And then depending on now that they're down here at the 11, 12-yard line, so they probably won't run a draw play, but that's what most teams seem to do.
The fact that you could have in the first 7 minutes of a game is have 2 touchdowns. It just shows how kind of defenses they're going to be tonight and what kind of offenses you really have.
Yep. So it looks like we're going to get 3rd and 4 from the 5-yard line. Is that what we got? Goal to go. See, but they're not in goal to go situation. Why did they put that stat up? They're not in goal to go situation here.
Easy touchdown, just you just can't drop touchdowns like that.
Oh, that's a bad drop there. So that hurts. They kicked the field goal, so Sanders with the 3 points there makes it a 7-3 game. So at least Miami responded. Now they're going to have to hope their defense does something.
Yeah,
because the Bengals marched right down the field that first drive.
Yeah, defense definitely has to step up. You can't just let them walk all over you like that.
Did you see? I know this is baseball. Did you see Aaron Judge's 61st home run?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see both fans miss the ball?
Yeah, they probably went from seeing a big payday to seeing that they still got to go to work tomorrow.
And really, what kind of a big payday would it be? 61, it would have tied the American League record. We're 62. If he does hit another one, will break the American League record for most home runs in a season. So, 61 probably wouldn't have done much. Probably would have gotten him some pictures, maybe some autographs, maybe meet and greet or something like that. But I don't know. Unless somebody would have paid him a lot of money for that ball, I don't think 61 was as big as a deal. Now I know it ties the record, the American League record, but the next one will break it. So,
yeah, I mean, now it's just a matter of time of breaking it. I mean, he's got 6 games left.
6 games left. If they play him all 6, they might give him some rest. Actually, probably not because they'll clinch a bye. I believe.
I think they already did.
So yeah, well, I know Houston did. I know the Yankees clinched the division. Let's look here. Yeah, Yankees got the number 2 seed. Cleveland can't catch them. So, but did Cleveland? Oh man, Baltimore fell apart, but Baltimore had a good year.
Yeah, they're still mathematically in it.
Yeah, yep. Man, excuse me. All right, so touchback to start this drive at the 25. Let's see what Cincinnati does here. Spread the ball around that first drive. I believe 4 different receivers. Let's look here. Box score. 3 different receivers. Counting the
4
tight
targets.
End.
3 receivers, or three got receptions, 4 got a target.
Yep. Now they're showing that replay from the Bengals touchdown. I thought when they pushed that pile like that, that was going to be a penalty. I thought the league discussed that a couple of years ago.
I thought they said in the offseason that when it got like that they were going to call a whistle and draw it dead. So I don't know. I think it's at the ref's discretion what they want to do. But yeah, if you're doing one game, you got to be able to do it in all the games. So I guess, I don't know. It's 50-50.
Got 2nd and 10. Mixon with the little dump off across the middle. Oh, picked up about 8 or 9. So I'm having a good start to the night. Mixon with 9 points for me already in the first quarter here.
Yeah, they got him involved week 1 early and often, and then week 2 they went away from it. And then last week it was kind of like he was there, but he wasn't there. So it's like, why is it that 1 week he's there and he's irrelevant, and like in 2 weeks he's just gone?
And there he is again, and that'll be a first down. So a nice drive. And the Bengals are doing again what they did last week against the Jets. Good protection. Burrow getting the ball out quick. So Miami not being able to get much pressure when they're running those little dump offs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Mixon broke through. Looks like he was going to break through that line. Got tripped up. Let's go back down to the stats here. We got 3rd and 8 coming up. I want to see. Oh, just overthrew. I just saw the replay of the Hurst. Just overthrew him. So Chase has got 2 of the targets out of the 7 attempts.
Mm-hmm. Only 1 catch so far.
Yeah. Now, I know they don't want to get him sacked, but 3rd and 8, you can't just be dumping the ball off like that. Even if he would have caught that, there would have been a loss of a yard.
Yeah, that was just I don't know. That was a very mediocre attempt to get first down back-to-back plays.
Yep. So I guess they did get a little pressure in there.
Still, though, back-to-back plays, you even draw those up, it's poor play calling right there.
So Miami takes over. It looks like at the 13 or 14-yard line. So let's see what Miami can do here. Cincinnati. Man, that was a beautiful shot of downtown that they had there. You ever been to Cincinnati?
I have not.
No, me neither. So Kevin Hart doing DraftKings Sportsbook commercials. Does he get the bet for free?
I don't know.
Be like, yeah, all right, here we'll pay you, but it's in bets. So if you lose, you're out. If you win, you're up.
Did you see the private message I sent you then?
Nope. Let me look. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I answered that. Yeah. Yep, that's good, Sean. Yeah, Sean putting over in the chat that he's a Vikings fan. Let me do that as well. With my Jets. Of course, now I can't find the Jets. There we go. We got the Jets over there. Anybody else that's here, let us know who your team is. Click on your points there at the bottom of the screen, and it'll let you pick your favorite team. How many people did you say were watching the Twitch Prime?
They were at 94,000 earlier.
Wow.
They're at 111,825 right now.
I wonder if their chat's going crazy or if people are just watching the game.
I'll go check it out real quick. Let me see. Go be a sports fan for a few minutes.
Yeah, right.
They actually don't have it. They don't have a chat.
Really?
Yep, just a game.
That's weird.
Probably figure so people don't bash people back and forth.
Don't bash, and they don't want people coming over and say, "Oh, come watch our stream. Come watch our stream."
Yep, that's exactly what it is. There's probably a lot of reasons why they do that.
Nice flag on the play. I was going to say nice run there, but see what the flag is here. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Still 7-3. Oh, offensive holding. Makes it 1st and 16 from the 7. I like Michael. I like this team. I like Michaels and Herb Street. They work good together.
Yeah, and they actually know what they're talking about.
Yep.
And it doesn't make your ears bleed when you're watching them.
Why? Who does that?
It just involves the name Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
I think it's funny that you don't like them. I like them.
They're just annoying.
So we're getting an ad there. Let's get rid of that.
I like this. I like the whiteout stadium.
Yeah, I really like that. Those uniforms are nice. I'm still getting used to it. Because you could see the Nike logo there is that orange, but it's so weird. It's just weird, everything being black and white.
Looks good though.
It's like the old days when I was a kid.
I mean, I thought that was how you still live right now.
No. No. Hill with another nice little 3-yard pickup for me. Hey, fantasy points, bud. Fantasy points.
Big gain, big gain.
Mets owner Steve Cohen tweeted out, "I just landed in Atlanta, and I'm pumped for the weekend series against the Braves. Baseball doesn't get any better than this."
Did the Dolphins just call another timeout?
Did they? They did.
Wow.
1 second on the play clock. He's yelling at somebody. Tua's upset with somebody.
The crowd might be getting to him.
Let's see what we got on Twitter. This guy tweets out, "I know everyone doesn't have Prime. You don't need it. You just need to, if you don't have it, just go over to Twitch and find Prime there, and you can watch the game.
You don't even have to make an account."
Yeah. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson and Eagles Jalen Hurts highlight September players of the month. Like Joe Mixon. Oh, that was Mixon's first touchdown of the season.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought he scored week 1.
That's what I thought too. Guess not. I did have a good week 1, so.
Next Thursday night football, Colts and Broncos. That means we're probably gonna hear them say Russell Wilson saying, "Let's ride" 5 times at least.
That's not even that good of a. First
Yeah,
off, it's not that good of a game. Its fantasy implications aren't that great. I guess you got JT going up against the Broncos defense.
You got Pittman.
I guess it's not too bad, but I don't know. I don't like that matchup.
It's better than last week's.
Look at these doofuses. Why is Collinsworth so close to the commissioner? Be like, dude, back up off me.
I know they're at 116,000 viewers on Prime, so it went down since the last time I looked.
Oh, nice play to Gesicki. Big play there for the Dolphins to get out of that hole. Fake the camera guy out there.
I want to see just a big play over the top, something. They keep doing these little short plays from Miami.
Yep.
I don't even know why you attempt it. That was just
Oh, wow, nice interception.
That was just
and the receiver gets up looking for a flag.
That's just a bad. That was just a bad ball.
Yep.
Two underthrew it. You don't expect a flag when you're underthrowing a football.
He should have seen. There's
You can't miss it.
Double coverage. You can't throw that ball.
You can't miss them. They're wearing white. Was he seeing ghost? Is he seeing ghost?
Oh, careful, bud.
Hey, it could be worse. You could have a butt fumble. We had a butt kick.
Butt punt.
We had a butt punt. Now we can have a butt fumble again.
So mix in with a nice 6-7 yard run there to start this drive off. We'll go up to the end of the first quarter here. So I wonder, our numbers have been down the last 2 weeks. I wonder if that's because it's on Prime.
I'm thinking that's why it is, and on Twitch.
So Sean and I will be back on Sunday at noon. Hoping to have some guests join us on Sunday. So if you're here, follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter, all that stuff, and Discord. Discord on Sundays is usually pretty good. Some good chat going on over there. I'm not sure. Did I click on that?
No, I did by accident.
Yeah. Here's our things. The links are over in the chat there. So, Sean, thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll talk to you after the stream.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. See you Sunday.